Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be doing a reading as a gift to my brother for his friend Natalie, her son Edwin. So, Natalie, hello, hello, hello. I am Daisy. And before we get started, Natalie, I want to tell you I am not a fortune teller. Okay? I have been doing readings for over 40 years. What I do is I listen. So because I'm not really having that chance to interact, we're going to be missing a little bit here. So I will do my very best to do a very broad reading to interpret what I see. And what I'm trying to say is not everything that I'm going to say here is etched in stone. What I can say is that what does resonate for you, use that as a stepping stone to help you help your son. So having said that, let's get to it. So there are a few things that my brother did tell me about your son Edwin. His birthday, August 23rd. So there will be a birthday coming up. So August 23rd, according to astrology, that would be August 23rd through September 22nd. Those are Virgos. Okay. And Virgos are earth signs. Earth signs are known to be practical, dependable, and somewhat structured. And so it's interesting because there are other aspects that say a lot about what I would call common energies about Virgos. One is, of course, their mutable signs. And with the mutable signs, it's interesting because mutable signs are what I call the finishers. You have the starters, you've got the in-between people. They are like, they get things like they're okay with the monotony of getting things done on an everyday basis. But the mutables, they come in at the end. They want to finish the projects. They are what I call the agents of change. They're the catalyst of change. They just want to, let's move on next, you know? So they will be able to see things in a way that allow to finish projects. Okay, now, what else do we have about Virgos? Well, they're ruled by the planet Mercury. And you've heard about what they say, well, this is very mercurial. You know, it goes, you know, it could go sideways really fast. But one thing about Mercury is that it is known to be the planet of communication. So that is a very big tell right there. Ways that we can help our children once we know about their personality, about their astrology, about all these little aspects. Then we can begin to harness this data, watch what we've seen as they have their own personality, and then how can we help them cultivate the best for themselves, right? So, having said that, because of this Mercury aspect to this Virgo, very earthy sign, you know, they would be very well fitting in anything that has to do with communication, writing, journalism, anything that allows this creativity to be expressed through those channels. So that's a way to help them get that extra energy out. Okay, let's see what else I can share with you. Okay, the number 8. Again, that's the month of August, and it's interesting because 8 is also associated with some sense of stability. When you look at a table, it's got 4 legs. Well, not a standard table, because I know there's tables with 3 legs, right? But so then you take a look that you can actually see that 4 and that 8 has got this common thing. So there's a lot of good structure in that as well. So there's freedom and structure and that desire for that expansion. Then we have the number 23 or the number 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. So this concept is again brought in by the day he was born. So everyone under the 23rd birthday has this desire for freedom of expression, this creativity, so much built in them. So that's part of this, you know, they love change, they love new things. So that's part of, like, they can't stay still, they've got to be moving, they've got to be doing things. So you've got that. So all of that without even throwing a card yet. So there you go. So now let's get to it. So like on the negative side though, is sometimes you've got the Virgos that are stubborn. You know, once they're set in a way, they just, you know, they're kind of stuck, you know, in that place. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this first card. I'll put it right over here, and then this one will be kind of the issue that we have that's kind of dealing with this. This will be talking a little bit about his past. This one will be talking about the subconscious. This one will be about the conscience. And here will be about the future. Where is that going? Okay. So let's deal with the past. So it looks like there's a few things in his past that he's been trying to like get over. As you could see, you've got really 3 figures here. Well, there's really many, but in his world, you know, there's these figures right here, and these figures that are trying to come out of some old ways of being and trying to heal this past so that they can move forward. So that's where part of his memory is stuck. Like how can, if he can deal with this and heal, he will be fine. So this is something that is still very fresh while not fresh at the same time. And as he can make peace with this part of his history, he can heal and move forward. But that's like an ongoing thing. But it's in the past, but still somewhat looking to be healed. Currently feeling very suppressed mentally, very suppressed about things that he doesn't understand by the binding of his eyes, you see. And there's a sense, because of where he is in his life, the stage of life, that there's still no freedom, and he wants that freedom, the freedom to express what's inside, but doesn't have the vehicle to do it. Feeling a lot of things that he doesn't understand, and so he can't fully express them. So this is a situation. That's where that's where he's at. So as a mother, understanding that, how can we help him? Now this is being crossed by this situation here. A sense of wanting to be happy, a sense of wanting family, of wanting this things as what he knows it to be, but yet not being able to express what he wants. It's very hard for someone that is born under a sign of communication. Then that's a lesson for him to learn, to be able to get this out and express it. If you don't find that vehicle, it's going to be very painful for everyone, but especially for him. Subconsciously, the son, unable to express this. And so he's stuck in this inability to fully express himself and move on. So he's stuck somewhere. So there's a part of his being that is stuck, and he can't. And you have to look at it. We're talking about a very young person who still hasn't found himself and is going through some change physically, but is stuck still. It's like in one aspect he's grown, but in another he hasn't. And he needs help in understanding what is going on mentally and physically. What are the changes that is happening for him physically and mentally, and then emotionally, because this person needs to be able to understand all this so that they can express it. And for a young person, it's in finding the vehicle for this to happen and get all this vent and energy, extra energy out, because if not, it will get locked in his body somewhere, and it will be harmful physically. Consciously, we have this Lover's card. So he's got a fantasy. He fantasizes about this thing happening. It's wanting union, wanting unity, wanting things as he wishes them to be. So it's interesting knowing some of the things that I knew, because I actually asked my brother about your situation. And so this is normal when parents divorce, for children to have a fantasy about wanting to see them together and not understanding, but yet to be able to communicate that the reason that God wanted this is to bring these beautiful souls here, and that for that reason, in this aspect, we are happy that that union did take place, because without that, Ilian wouldn't be here. And so that there's no resentment, and to share that, communicate, to be able to communicate that is so important, because there's a fantasy and in that beautiful mind wanting that to still be the truth that he's still trying to heal. Okay? So, as best with what little I have here, let's move on to what kind of future can we see? What kind of outcome? What kind of, we can see here. So if you take some of this advice, knowing that your son, that Ilian, is a carefree person, but yet is very grounded, very practical, he needs to express this and find a hobby or an extra activity. You may want to sit with one of his teachers in academia and just say, listen, maybe with the school counselor, and say, I'd like to find out how I can help Ilian. He's got all this extra energy, and to help him, be creative. So who knows? It could be in the arts, where he's creating a comic book, because there's communication there, or it could be in anything that allows him to express, creating a little podcast, as a young kid. I don't know how that would look, but in anything that could create a journalism where he's reporting, because that's creative. So who knows where that could go, right? So let's see. A very positive outcome. And I love it because the pentacles are in relationship to the earth signs. So as he is allowed to express this from the emotional, spiritual body, then it will manifest out here and be interpreted as stability, as family again, in a new way that he can understand and appreciate it. So, but there's a lot of work that you will need to do, Natalie, to help him, because as a parent, that's what we want to do, is to cultivate the best out of our children, and helping him understand who he is and what he wants, and then provide the avenue for that expression. That will be the key to this great outcome. All right. I would like to throw an angel card and see what will be revealed. Okay? So I'll be using it from this angel deck. All right, Ilian. Big hugs all the way from sunny Florida. Bam. Oh, I love this card, Enchantment. What a better card, talking about freedom and creativity and communication. All of this is embodied in this beautiful soul, and allow it now to be cultivated, and it will be so magical. Things will turn around for both of you. All right. Well, thank you. I hope that you are blessed. And if you or anyone else that may be listening to are interested in a private reading, please go to my personal webpage, which is www.fortuneforecast.com. Be blessed.